Biztech's Health and Wellness Show. Our guest for today is Dr. Noor Azira Ismail. She's the President and Medical Director of Daehan Rehabilitation Hospital in Putrajaya, Kuala Lumpur. Iris Chin also joins us. She's the Sales Director of Keeogo Malaysia. Now, Daehan Rehabilitative Hospital in Putrajaya provides premium restorative healthcare services specializing in neurological rehabilitation, such as stroke or traumatic brain injury, with one-on-one personalized professional rehabilitation therapy. Whilst Keeogo Malaysia is an advanced robotic rehabilitation therapy center which provides treatments that help to improve neurological patient rehabilitation and training outcomes. Now, on this show, these ladies will touch on the partnership and synergy between Keeogo and Daehan, the physiotherapy and rehabilitative arena in Malaysia, as well as the types and treatments that are available in rehabilitative care. Now, with that mouthful, welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, thank you, Brian. Good
now,
to be here.
For a start, to set the stage, can we talk about the gaps that currently exist in the whole physiotherapy and care landscape in Malaysia? And Dr. Azira, maybe we start with you first.
I can say the gap is, well, we have to give ourselves a bit of credit, right? Is becoming, a little less now with increasing awareness. Sort of we have to thank the pandemic as well, because post-COVID era, or we are still in the COVID era, rehabilitation has becoming more, people are more aware of rehabilitation. Initially, it was pulmonary rehabilitation for the people who had COVID or suffered from COVID. But as we were introduced to long COVID and people know it affects all other organ system as well. So people are starting to look into rehabilitation for everything else as well. Now, stroke has been one of the major cause of disability in Malaysia. It has been, when we first started with Daehan, we have a case about 30,000 a day, which is quite a lot. But how many of those who went through the recovery journey, with the correct rehabilitation, and how many of those who actually recover and reintegrate into the society? It's not many. We are still faced with people who, you have stroke, you go to the hospital, you get treated for the stroke, and then off you go. But the people who are discharged from the hospital, they still have weakness in one side of the body. Some of them, the disability ranges from being bedridden to those who can walk and can eat and can speak again. But even though those who are able to walk, their walking is still affected. And some of them just barely walk so that they can function, so that they can go to the bathroom, so they can go and get food. But for them to return back to their previous function is something that still needed more attention, because one, we have rehabilitation available in government hospital, which appointments, we're not blaming this on government or whatever, but because of the nature of the patients that go to receive government's hospital services, they have to cater to millions of people. So their appointment is, ranges from 1 week to 3 months. So you can't really get consistent and good rehabilitation treatment there. So for the centers, we have centers that is available in the community. They are mostly 1 or 2 services. So whether it's a physiotherapy center without the occupational therapy component, or whether they are only catering to physical improvement and not look into cognitive part, or return to work program. So if we're talking about the gaps of rehabilitation in Malaysia, it's actually looking at many different angles. The awareness is still needed to be addressed. So there's a gap in awareness. So we're thankful for Biztechasia to have this kind of talk, so we can at least help create the awareness. We're looking into gaps in accessibility. So accessibility is still an issue, because we're trying to reach out for the people who can access, but they don't know where to go. And those who actually can afford, there's no good centers for them to go and get a proper rehabilitation going. So accessibility, not just because there's no service, but awareness of such service accessible and available in any places in Malaysia. And then the other thing is, of course, the gap in care because of funding issues and all that, which is a bit complicated to address for us. But yeah, maybe next talk or next program we can look into that with the insurance and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Coverage.
and you're right, and that's probably a separate conversation we want to address. But what you've highlighted is very critical, because in the past, and I'm also a person who had this thinking, if you've got a stroke, it was almost as if you are condemned to a reduced function for the rest of your life. The reality is, however, because of all the rehabilitative therapies, people are not aware you can return to work. There's a lot of your functions that you can recover.
Definitely.
I have personally seen people who have gone for very intensive rehabilitation, and 6 months, you never knew that they actually had a stroke before.
Exactly. And in some cases, when we talk about, I want to be able to talk, to have conversation again, even you have a severe stroke, communication does not mean only speak. You can still communicate through writing, through, even for somebody that will improve your quality of life if you can do that. And for somebody who is paralyzed, you can still mobilize with wheelchair. Not walking doesn't mean you can't. With correct rehabilitation, you actually can reintegrate into society. So this is what we're looking for here with the proper rehabilitation program.
And Dr. Azura, I think it's, you said hit the nail on the head. It's about two things that you said. It's quality of life and reintegration into society. It's not a diminished capacity that you have to deal with, where you have to be away and not be able to function.
Yep, exactly.
So I want to move the conversation now to Iris. Iris, could you walk us through the unique synergy between Keeogo and Daehan? What's the partnership all about?
Oh, because Keeogo actually is the lower limb. I mean, for the leg exoskeleton, which is help the patient to train to how to walk properly, to improve their gait pattern, to improve their movement and balance, and etc. So because of this, we partner with Daehan, and because Keeogo actually is very unique in the market, which is currently we are the only one who can offer this kind of solution for the patient. So
Okay,
that's why.
Can you give us a little bit more? Can you explain the solutions a little bit more when you say it's just for the lower legs and so forth?
You can see my picture, background picture. Actually, you can see there's one exoskeleton hanging out there. That is our Keeogo. It is the lightest exoskeleton in the market right now, which is only 6.8 kilogram. Okay. So for for example, let's say for the stroke patient, they may need up to this, when they come to the chronic phase, they may need something to train them to sit to stand. Maybe they need to train to sit to stand, or how to climb the staircase or whatever. So our Keeogo the patient can wear the Keeogo, and then the Keeogo we can customize the setting for the patient to customize the training program for the wearer, for the patient. So with this, we can give support. For the patient. For example, okay, with this when you sit, patient will not fall easily. But with some kind of support from our Keeogo, they can control their muscle, and to control their muscle, and to train how to sit from sit to stand, or from stand to sit. This is a kind of a mechanism. Yes.
And how long does it normally take for them to regain, using your exoskeleton, how long would it take for them to regain some of their functions or better functionality?
Normally it would depends on the patient's situation. Every patient will have a different recovery stage, but some could take maybe a few sections, maybe 5 or 6. Some could be up to 10 times, some could be up to months. It depends on how severe they're injured and how their recovery condition. So because for the neurology rehab, it do take long-term commitment from the patient, maybe at least 5 or 6 section, or maybe something like that, or it could be longer.
Okay, and is this sort of robotic assisted therapy, this is relatively new in Malaysia, correct? And this is originally from Korea.
Keeogo actually is from Canada.
From
It's
Canada?
Miranda from Canada. So here in Malaysia, so it will be in charge by Keeogo Malaysia.
Okay. Okay. I want to go back to Dr. Azira now. Could you give us some insights into Daehan's different treatments that are available at Daehan Rehabilitation Hospital?
Okay. When we first started, we were actually looking at towards neuro niche, meaning we were focusing on stroke rehabilitation and brain injury rehabilitation. We also looked after patients with spinal cord injury rehabilitation. But as we go along, we venture on into musculoskeletal and pulmonary rehabilitation. So musculoskeletal meaning, stroke and brain injury, spinal cord injury, people with paralysis and all. Pulmonary rehabilitation, we did well, where we partnered with KKM during the pandemic, where we take some of people who are stable post-COVID infection, and we further rehabilitate them. For those who came to our hospital, we discharge them 100% without oxygen. So for that patients, and for those who were, doomed to be, I think all of them were discharged walking out. They came in on stretchers, but they were discharged walking out. So that was quite a good achievement in terms of our pulmonary rehabilitation. We also do cardiac rehabilitation following heart attack and following cardiac surgery, like a bypass surgery and so on. Because you wouldn't imagine the people who had a heart attack, how fearful they can be to resume life activity again. So that involves not only physical, but also psychological approach as well to get them. And then we have to look into, how you slowly start your activities again and build that up so that you can go back into, whether for those who were previously active and into sports and everything. So we make sure they are safe to do all those activities again. And also now we are venturing into looking at pediatrics rehabilitation as well. So as you can see, Daehan is becoming, not just neurological related illnesses, but any medical condition that leads to disability, we do see and advise and offers our rehabilitation program accordingly. Yeah.
And so how much do these treatments cost, just as a ballpark figure, like a range?
Not that expensive. So we are a standalone private rehabilitation hospital.
Okay.
So being that our service is focused for rehabilitation only. When I say rehabilitation, that is rehabilitation medicine that we are doing here. So rehabilitation medicine, if you imagine, is an umbrella of medical consultancy or medical doctors management, nursing, rehabilitation nursing, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, dietitians, and everything comes under one umbrella. We work as a team. So we take patients from high dependency unit. So they are still needing attention in terms of their blood pressure monitoring, medication adjustment. You know, as I was telling you earlier, we also have medical condition that can happen anytime, like seizures, or patient. When we take a stroke patient, they can come with everything under the sun. The heart also can be not in a good condition, so they can have heart attack or things like that. So those are the things why doctors are there in the team to monitor, to make sure that patients undergoing rehabilitation is safe. So for that matter, we are a rehabilitation hospital rather than a center. So the cost involved is we have inpatient treatment, inpatient program, daycare program, and also outpatient program. So the price is very competitive. For outpatient program is similar to those out there. So a session of physiotherapy ranges from 150 to 300, depending on what equipments that we use.
Okay.
So the special equipments like the robotics and all is an additional cost. For inpatient, we have it ranges from 6-bedded to single room. So the price range from 13,000 a month.
Okay.
To 35,000 a month. So giving you the rough figure of the, and that package, this is a package that includes therapy, nursing, basic nursing care, and room and board. So room and board comes with complimentary meals and also Wi-Fi and TV.
So that sounds quite competitive price-wise.
It is very competitive. Yes, we understand. The people who require rehabilitation, they are most of the young ones. They are breadwinners. They are of working productive age. So it's like withdrawing your if say you don't have any funds, withdrawing your KWSP or things like that. So it is actually quite I think it's a good price. We have comments like this is quite cheap, depending on the people how they see the service, but I am proud to say that with Daehan being here, making proper rehabilitation available, we have helped many people, especially those in the C-suites, when we say reintegrate into the society, we want them to return to work. Stroke happens mostly that I see not in those who are already the majority now is becoming of productive age, so we really need them to return to work. We've had people in the C-suites who have returned to work and they can still contribute because when you are, let's say, when you are the CEO of a company, it's a lot to lose for that company when this person can't return to work. I mean, you can replace the CEO, but that means replacing, maybe you have to look into your business model again, or maybe some direction of the business change because the person who are managing it changed, because they're not able to return to work. So we're trying to help a lot. I think we're not just those who not just to get them to physically able to just go by life, but more meaningful, so that they can go back to contribute to whatever company or to the country again. So yeah, so that's a lot to say.
That's quite a lot to unpack.
Yeah, so I think the price is worth it. If they want the price to be, there are people who are okay. They have robots in the morning, because like I said, if the special equipment, the price is additional, so they don't mind having robots in the morning and hydrotherapy in the afternoon. And also alternately they have also what you call that, Alter-G, which is gravity eliminated treadmill. So it's like they don't mind, because the price is affordable. I think I would say it's affordable, yeah, for the service that we are offering.
Now, can I ask, is any of this covered by insurance in general?
We do TPAs. TPAs is third party assistance, like PM Care and all that. We are PM Care panel for that.
Okay.
There's a few panel as well as listed in our website. Insurance, it depends on, unfortunately, still the what you call it, how much the patient is contributing, or
yes, of course,
what they are,
the
whether it's
premiums they pay,
50,000
their
a year
policies, and
or
so forth.
yeah. So there are for most insurance is pay and claim.
Okay.
Yeah. So they can come and pay and claim later, or we were looking into collaboration with others, like SOCSO, for the patients to come under SOCSO, what you call it, funding, and also we're looking at like I mentioned before, KWSP as well. So it is still our customer service will be, for whoever interested, our customer service will try our best to look into how we can assist in terms of funding issues and pricing issues. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Iris, I want to turn back to you again and talk to us about Keeogo's robotic assisted rehabilitation therapy. You mentioned that it comes from Canada, where besides Daehan Rehabilitative Center Hospital, where else is this deployed in Malaysia?
We also have SJMC, Putrajaya, and also Hospital Putrajaya at this moment. Yeah. And also, of course, we have our own center in PJ Midtown. Yeah. But for us, sorry.
Sorry, your center in PJ Midtown, what does that cover? What sort of services do you offer?
We are a center we are focused on the mobility training. We do have our own therapies and occupational therapies for training them how to walk and how they regain their mobility for hand as well, for upper limb as well. So yeah, for our center, we do have patient can come here for the treatment, but what we focus here is we want to collaborate with the hospital or the clinic. We call them we address them as a clinical partner. So for us, we are much more towards to the work together with the clinical partner, so that they can adopt our solution for their patients. So we want to work together with with the partner in Malaysia. So whereas for our center in Putrajaya Town, we want to we will treat it as a center of excellence. So this is where we train the trainer center, and
Also, one of the key things, I suppose, it's also your center helps to create awareness, doesn't it?
yes, it do. Yes, with the center set up here, so we can invite a lot of people, stakeholder to come over and see how we do things differently with what we have in Malaysia context right now. So I think we have set up since 1 year ago, exactly
Okay.
1 year ago, which we have a lot of visitors to come here, even from overseas. We have a lot of visitors come in, and it's quite an eye opener for them, because for them they never see actually rehab can be in this kind of setup.
Can I ask you then, Iris, what is the efficacy rate in terms of robotic rehabilitative therapy? How much does it accelerate in general? And you can do in broad terms, obviously, because obviously there is improvement, but what sort of improvement is? Could you give us some insights into, is it 10%, is it 20%, does it shorten the time? Because I can imagine, because it's an exoskeletal, and it's control, it's training your impulses and your muscles and stuff like that. There will definitely be acceleration of healing.
Yes, I think in terms of the figure, or a certain percentage, I really couldn't give an answer, because right now there's still a lot of research paper need to be done in order to have a more accurate figure to give over here. But what I can answer is, for robotic rehab, what we can do is we will increase the intensity of the treatment, and the dosage, and the duration of the training as well. So for the patient, so all these factors are very, very crucial for the patient for their recovering journey. For example, if let's say we do it manually, I need to train the patient to open and close their finger. So if I do it manually, within half an hour, maybe I can do 20 times or 30 times. But with our robot, within half an hour, we can do up to 100 times. 100 times.
Wow, okay.
100 times. So all this is the dosage and the intensity, which can give a great different impact for their brain, to trigger their brain relearn activity. We call to trigger their neuroplasticity. But I believe all these were better answered by Dr. Azira. I think, because she, yes. So that's how robotic, and let's say you compare with the manual. So it will make a huge difference in terms of these key factors.
Can I ask also then, I see a lot of applications, because I'm a sports person. So we have injuries. You have knee injury and stuff, and some don't get full extension of your, you may have your patella that is slightly off, because I'm a cyclist, so your patella is slightly off. I can see that there should be a lot of applications for that as well, especially for older people, for example, who have had reconstructive surgery of their knees. Doc, could you share some insights? Is that also another area where patients can basically go and see, get treatment for your hospital?
Definitely, yeah. With assistive device, or with the robotics, it's not just physical that you look at. I have a patient who don't have much confidence to stand and walk, but because this device is giving you some form of support, so they feel supportive or stronger to stand and to walk. Actually, if they don't use it, they can walk. It's just the confidence level is not there. So when they walk confidently with these robots, or any assistive device, then when we remove it, we show them, look, actually you can do it. So they can proceed from there. So in terms of duration, Aris was talking about, it's shortened now. You know, if you don't use all these available assistance, you might be trying to convince them, look, you can stand, you know, it's the same thing by using other things like hydrotherapy with the buoyancy effects. They can actually stand in water, but they can't stand outside it because of the buoyancy. And we show them, look, you are standing now, so can we try that outside? And they can. We have had a patient who doesn't walk for a year, and when with this assistance, it builds their confidence, it makes them stronger because now they can do, because of the task specific. If you could imagine in the leg, for example, you have 10 muscles, you only require a few, maybe 4 or 5 to do certain tasks. But because you are not focused into that particular movement, because you know, to stand, then you have to use your hip muscle, your thigh muscle, your calf muscles and everything. So there's a lot for the person to focus on. But with this, they sort of, you know, it's assisted and they don't have to think much, because some movement will trigger the robots to assist the person to do that. And it builds their confidence, it builds their strength, and you know, we can do more because they become more focused, they have less to think about, and that's why they can do from, you know, 10 repetitions to 100 repetitions, and so that helps. So you know, and we find, of course, there is better outcome. And for those you know, who says elderly cannot lift weights, right? In fact, they should, because if we're looking at weaker bone, weaker muscle in the elderly, is because, you know, we have this mindset that as you get older, you will become weak. You shouldn't be. We have some you know, lady out there who's still doing yoga flips and so on at the age of 70. You know, with this, because they have more confidence and they feel the assisting support, they can do it. With knee injury, post-surgery, post-hip replacement, there are devices to help maintain the range of motion, so that, you know, they will be less pain and support the movement, so it helps. We use our for hydrotherapy, it's not suitable because of the wound, but we have air-assisted treadmill to offload your weight. So despite having knee surgery done, you can still go on the treadmill and maintain the leg strength. So the athletes use that. We use that. It's actually NASA technology, where they use it on the astronaut. When they come back, they have muscle wasting and muscle weakness. So that's when we train, because you offload the weight and they feel, you know, they can move better. So that's with all these equipments, it allows us to be a bit more I don't know, creative, or it allows us the flexibility to try on and see, you know, whether we can, for us who work in the rehabilitation, we do assessment, and from that assessment, we know we can push the patient to a certain degree. But because of the mindset and, you know, pain or whatnot, patients are not able to perform to such capability. But with these equipments, it does help. So we can show them, actually you can do, because let's say with the knee injury, we offload the knee and offload the weight from the knee, pain is less, or the swelling is less because of certain equipments that we use. And they can walk better. They actually can walk after surgery. You know, nowadays we don't keep patients in bed 1 week after surgery. You know, as soon as you are okay, you're good, you can walk. Yeah, of course, surgeons will tell us lah, if those who, you know, this is a little bit more damage, don't walk. But even though the patient who are non-weight bearing status, we can still do some movement and exercise when they are lying in bed.
Okay.
So that's when, you know, the duration of healing becomes shorter. Patient get back to their life faster. Yeah.
Now, Iris, what are your plans for Keeogo in the near future? Obviously, I think there's probably this sort of treatment is new in Malaysia, and right now you'll probably be looking to expand it.
Yes. For this year, we of course we just launched our new branch in Penang, which is 2 weeks ago. So Penang, we have our new branch, and of course, this year we will expand to southern region as well.
Okay.
And of course, this year we also our Keeogo Singapore is going to open maybe in another 3 months. So we will expand by regionally. And this year, definitely, we are focused on Indonesia and Middle East as well.
I see. Okay, fantastic. You know, ladies, it's been a fascinating conversation. I think really to teach the audience about this accelerated way that we can get rehabilitation help. I think people don't realize how much treatments there are out there, and obviously you're helping to patients to recover faster. But before we leave this conversation, any final words that you'd like to leave us with? We can start with you, Iris.
I hope that Malaysia community can have more awareness about they can get better and they can regain their mobility even though they suffer a life-changing accident, especially a stroke, or maybe due to accident and cause the brain injury. So we are bringing in a lot of technology and devices, and all this with the aim is to help the community here, to help the patient to regain their mobility, and that's why I keep on going.
Doc, how about you? How would you, any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
Well, always, I agree with Iris. I am always about creating awareness for rehabilitation. You know, is even if you feel, it's the end of, like when people who are disabled, they can't function, they can't. Just remember, rehabilitation is there to assist with, because we always looking at maybe not 100%, but at least we can help optimize function to the best achievable as possible. Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies, for coming on the show. It's been a real eye-opener.
Thank you so much for having us, Brian.
I'm Brian Fernandez, and we've been speaking to Dr. Noor Azira Ismail, the President and Medical Director of Daehan Rehabilitation Hospital in Putrajaya, Malaysia, and Iris Chin, Sales Director of Keeogo Malaysia, on Biztechasia Health and Wellness Show. This video and podcast will be on our social media platforms, as well as our website, www.biztech.asia. It will also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.